Today we're going to be talking about probably one of my most favorite supplements. Why? Because I don't think there is another supplement out there who puts out such rigorous advertising marketing. Oh my gosh. And these people on these ads look hot. Okay? It's like you
Ripped
can't
up.
you're like, I want that just from that advertising. They are amazing at their advertising. So this is Hydroxycut Hardcore Elite. And it is chock full of stuff. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But first and foremost, Hydroxycut is something called a thermogenic, right?
Yeah, so the thing you need to know about Hydroxycut, guys, is that it's not just one single supplement. It's actually a family of a multitude of many mixed together products that make this supplement, most of which are caffeine. And just as a little caveat, guys, things that you should look out for on labels are synonyms of the word caffeine. So whenever you see yohimbe and guarana and yerba mate and ma wang and green tea extract or black tea extract, cocoa extract, all of these things are just synonyms for caffeine.
I want to say ma wang.
Ma wang. Fedra too. Fedra is ma wang. You saw that in all the products from them. So, also, 1,4,7-trimethylxanthine, fancy word, that is the molecule of caffeine. So if you see that on the label, that's also caffeine. Things like dicaffeine malate, caffeine citrate, these are all synonyms for caffeine. So basically what I'm saying is most of these products are loaded with caffeine.
So let's just go briefly through what this particular product has in it. Caffeine, 270 milligrams of caffeine in 2 tablets. So, okay, 1 cup of coffee, anywhere up to strong coffee, 140 milligrams. So 2 tablets are almost double. You take 2 tablets in the morning, 2 tablets in the afternoon, you're doing 4 cups of coffee. That is the caffeine. But then, hold on, there is more. Robusto coffee is 200 milligrams. What's Robusto coffee?
It's just an extract of caffeine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like super strong
Probably.
coffee. Robusto coffee. Coleus extract,
Yep.
100 milligrams. It's something also called forskolin.
Yep. Green tea extract.
Okay, there
Yep.
you go.
All synonyms. They try to trick us.
Cocoa extract is also more
Yes.
caffeine. And then we have L-theanine.
Yep.
Is that coffee?
Caffeine.
It's caffeine. Oh, who would have guessed? And then yohimbe.
Right.
Also
Another
stimulant.
Stimulant, yeah.
Stimulant,
Yep.
right?
Another plant. With
And
caffeine.
those are 100 milligrams and another 56.3
Yep.
nanograms or something.
So why would people take supplements that have caffeine in them? Well, there are some purported benefits if you think about it, right? Why do we drink caffeine as ER doctors? Well, because it's going to increase our mood, it's going to keep us awake, it's going to increase our focus, help us to concentrate, decreases our perception of fatigue.
Right.
So how would that translate over into using it in the gym? Probably for the same reasons, right? People are going to feel elevated to get in a good workout. They're going to feel less fatigue. They're going to want to pump, and keep going.
Right. And the other things about caffeine are that, there's been studies, the sports, medicine studies that say a certain amount of caffeine increases your, especially with sprinters and, track and field athletes, caffeine increases their ability to perform their sport. Now that is counter to those who are skill-based athletes, such as the, shooting type events.
Not to get too scientific, but let's get a little bit more into what caffeine or methylxanthines, which is the kind of overarching term for things like coffee and tea. What do these things do? Well, they actually block something called adenosine in our bodies. And what does that do? It actually helps to vasodilate or kind of open up our blood vessels. It also increases the amount of calcium that goes into a part of the cell called the sarcoplasmic reticulum. And what that does is it increases muscle contractility and decreases your fatigue. It also inhibits an enzyme called phosphodiesterase. So all of these things are part of the...
Going on.
Yeah, exactly. And it helps to kind of increase a second messenger called cyclic AMP. So these things are all purported why caffeine would be a good thing to take, because it's going to increase your overall performance in the gym.
It's interesting because, the other studies that have been done on things like attention. And they did this one study with caffeine. And what they did was they took people studying for a test, and they made them take a certain amount of the caffeine prior, and then they had their control that just drank, fake decaffeinated beverage,
Sure.
and they showed that they answered a less percentage wrong,
Right.
because of the attention that they were able to give to the test.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, so
Definitely.
there's lots of good, research behind caffeine, but is it good research for a weight
This
loss
product,
supplement?
or this product in
Right.
particular. So let's talk about some of the bad things about Hydroxycut. So 2002 it was introduced to the market. Quickly in 2004 it was taken off because most of the Hydroxycut products had ephedra in them.
Right.
And by now a lot of you know the bad side effects of ephedra were high blood pressure, which
Yeah.
increased your cardiovascular and your risk for strokes, risk of heart attacks. And then in 2009, there were several reports that came out of liver damage done by Hydroxycut products. They're still not 100% sure. They think that was from the green tea extract, and that was the actual molecule that was causing the liver toxicity or the problems with the liver shutting down, and there was actually one death reported.
Yeah.
So it was immediately all products of Hydroxycut at that time were taken off the market in 2009. But again, they kind of switched some words and put some synonyms in there and get it back out in a lot of marketing. And sure enough, in 2010, it came right back out on the market, and it's still available in different forms.
So you'll see this product. This is, I just picked this one up, but there is a variety, and they'll market it to different clientele, which is very, very smart. So, there's one that sort of looks like, a more masculine label, which I think is this one. There's one that looks, I think it's pink and so very smart marketing behind this product. But again, the reason we're doing these vlogs is because what we're trying to do is present the information on both the positives and the negatives for these supplements, and to give you the information you need to make a good decision. And so here, I think we've shown that, there's positives and there's negatives.
Sure. Let me talk a little bit more about side effects of caffeine, right?
Yeah.
So simple side effects of caffeine, you get a little bit of tremor, you get a little bit of palpitations, but there is actually something called caffeinism, which is from chronic intake of caffeine. When you take multiple cups of coffee, like you explained, throughout a day, or multiple tablets of this product, people can have overall irritability, tremulousness, headaches, and just feel generally unwell. So I would kind of avoid products like that. I think in my practice, if it was up to me, I wouldn't be taking this. So.
Well, something that if any product I feel that you take and then develop almost a withdrawal from when you stop it, already puts it on a little bit of I get a little nervous for it. So I think we're kind of ready to rate it. What do you think?
I think so.
All right.
The worm.
Sorry, Hydroxycut. All right. Well, thank you again for following us. And
don't forget to tune in to our Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, guys. See you next time.